This is not a shipwreck story. This is a real-life Lord of the Flies.
We were not sent here to find water. We were sent here to die.
Over 300 people stranded. What followed was not survival, it was terror, and every bit of it is true. In 1628, the Dutch East India Company, the richest organization on earth, launched a new ship, the Batavia, a flagship on its first voyage to the East Indies. Over 300 people on board, soldiers, sailors, merchants, families.
6 months and we will be in paradise, in Batavia, where fortunes are made.
And a cargo worth a fortune. The company controlled trade across half the world. It moved money on a scale no one had seen before, and all of it was now on this one ship. In command was Francisco Pelsaert, senior merchant company man. For much of the voyage he was ill, and that mattered, because on a ship like this, authority is everything. He and his skipper did not see eye to eye. The skipper was Arian Jacobs, a capable seaman with a grudge. In Cape Town, after a drunken night with other captains, he was publicly reprimanded. For a proud man, that doesn't fade, it settles. And then there was Jeronimus Cornelisz, a failed apothecary, a bankrupt man, not the kind who looks dangerous, the kind who becomes dangerous slowly. He didn't need to use violence, he just needed others to. Cape Town was meant to be a routine stop. Instead, it became something else. Jacobs and Cornelisz moved among the sailors, drinking, watching, testing loyalties. The Batavia was carrying one of the richest cargoes ever to leave Amsterdam. And if the ship could be separated from the fleet, if the right men held the right places, if the soldiers could be kept below deck, then the richest ship in the world might belong to whoever took it. Then came Lucretia Jans, a high-born passenger, the ship's beauty, a visible symbol of rank and order on a ship where both were beginning to slip. One night, returning to her cabin, she was seized, a hand over her mouth, dragged, humiliated, and smeared with filth and pitch. This wasn't random, it was deliberate. The mutineers needed a spark. They wanted Pelsaert to react, to punish the crew, even the innocent, and turn tension into open conflict, a ship divided against itself. But Pelsaert did something they did not expect. Nothing. He sensed the mood of the ship. He knew the vessel carried a fortune, and he knew a wrong move could turn timber into tinder. So he waited. Cornelisz and Jacobs were stunned. The volcano had not erupted, not yet. In the days that followed, the Batavia drifted further from the fleet, whether by weather or something else. No one said. But by the time it mattered, they were alone. Then, just before dawn, near a chain of reefs called the Houtman Abrolhos, Portuguese for lookout, everything changed. Grinding timber, a deep shudder, a scream through the hull. The Batavia hit Morning Reef and stopped dead. One moment she was a floating empire. The next she was a dying animal on coral. By morning the ship was breaking. There were people to move, treasure to save, food and water to salvage. Boats to load, panic to contain. The nearest island was tiny, barely more than a barren strip of coral and rock. No shade, no trees, no comfort, but it was land. By the end of the day, around 180 people had been ferried ashore. Husbands separated from wives, parents from children, the useful from the helpless. And on the wreck, discipline collapsed. With Pelsaert gone ashore, some men found the alcohol. An old Dutch saying had come true.
When the cat's away, the mice dance on the table.
They drank among the ruins of the richest ship in the Indies, coins scattered, clothes stolen, barrels cracked open. The apocalypse had a tavern. Most of the survivors were moved off the small island to a larger island nearby. It offered more room, but almost nothing else. No proper shelter, little food, no reliable fresh water. Pelsaert wanted order, Jacobs wanted survival, and both men knew the truth. If panic took hold, nobody would be leaving.
Lord, in this desolation we seek your mercy.
So Pelsaert made the decision that would haunt him forever. He would take the longboat and search for water, first on nearby islands, then, if needed, the mainland. He left a note.
Myself and the others are going out in the boat to find fresh water. We will make haste to return with water as soon as possible.
Jacobs made one last calculation of their position. Latitude 28 degrees, 20 minutes south, and tucked it away. Then the longboat left. On the island, the survivors watched their commander row away, and the thought spread like disease. He has abandoned us. From that day, the smaller island where Pelsaert had spent his first nights became known as Traitors' Island.
Traitors! Traitors!
The first deaths came quickly, bleeding gums, cracked lips, sunburn, salt sores, madness. They dug for water and found none. A council formed: Predikant, preacher, the surgeon, the provost, senior men trying to build law out of thirst. But law is difficult to enforce when people are dying with sand in their mouths. Then a servant girl did something extraordinary. She swam back to the wreck. 45 minutes through dangerous water, she found supplies, water, and dragged it back to the island like a miracle. Then rain came. For some, already near death, all they could do was roll onto their backs, open their mouths, and let the sky save them. For a moment, God seemed to be paying attention, but not for long. The wreck finally broke apart, and from the sea came a survivor, Jeronimus Cornelisz. He had spent 2 days in the water and returned like something the ocean had rejected. At first, people rejoiced. The company was back, authority was back, order was back. Cornelisz joined the council. He gave instructions: pit toilets, hunting parties, central stores, boats built, supplies retrieved.
Leave the beam! Make it fast!
People obeyed him. Because in a world without structure, even a monster with a clipboard looks like salvation.
Everyone speaks of maintaining order. But order is simply the absence of resistance. If there is no one to resist, there is no disorder.
And for a short while, life improved, which made the next part worse, because Cornelisz had not abandoned the mutiny. He had adapted it. The ship could no longer be seized, so the island would be. Cornelisz saw the island as an equation. The sick were burdens, children were useless, women could be taken, strong men were threats, and the soldiers were the greatest threat of all. They were organized, armed in spirit if not in weapons, used to command. Their natural leader was Wiebbe Hayes. Hayes and about 20 soldiers were ordered to search for water on distant islands.
Corporal Hayes, the island is overcrowded. We need fresh water. Take your men, search the outer islands, and report back the moment you find a spring.
I'll take the men.
No muskets, bare necessities. They were told water would be easy to find. It was a lie. Cornelisz expected them to die. Others were sent away too, to Seal Island and to Traitors Island. They were not being relocated, they were being removed. Back on Batavia's graveyard, Cornelisz tightened control. The boat, the weapons, the food, the women, all of it now moved through him. Then came the body, Robert Wooters, throat cut from ear to ear. A child screamed when she saw him wash in. Cornelisz called everyone together. He did not solve the murder, he used it.
On behalf of the VOC and this council, all weapons are to be surrendered.
Any man or woman hiding weapons will suffer the severest penalty.
It was brilliant. One murder gave him every knife. The survivors handed over their last defense to the men who would soon use those weapons against them.
These men have stolen from us.
When two men were accused of stealing wine, Cornelisz demanded death. The old council hesitated. That was enough. He dismissed them. A new council was formed, loyal, violent and red-clothed. David Zavank, Jacob Peters the stonecutter, Van Huysen, men who understood the new law, Cornelisz's law. The men were led to the end of the island, bound, cut down, executed in view of others. Something had changed. Cornelisz began sending volunteers to join Hayes. Men climbed onto rafts, believing they had been chosen for rescue. Once out of sight, the mutineers fell on them, hands tied, feet tied, bodies thrown overboard. One man begged so pitifully that Zavank paused.
I'll do anything.
Anything.
And that was how murder recruited. Fear made followers faster than speeches. The Predikant held his daily service. Cornelisz stopped it. That evening, the Predikant was invited to dinner. He and his wife were given wine, reassured, treated as guests. While they sat in the tent, others were at work. The Predikant's own children were taken aside, 7 of them killed. Then Cornelisz turned to Lucretia Jans. He offered protection from the very world he was creating.
After what happened aboard the Batavia, I cannot allow such a beautiful woman to remain unprotected among ruffians. Under my care, you will be safe.
She refused him, barely spoke, and Cornelisz, who could command killers, could not command her. Meanwhile, on the open ocean, Pelsaert, Jacobs and 40 others refused to die. Heat, almost no water, severe storms. Yet somehow, they made it to Batavia. one of the greatest feats of seamanship of the age. But when Pelsaert stepped ashore, he had to explain what happened to the Batavia, and worse, what had happened to the people he left behind. Then Wiebbe Hayes found water, not a puddle, not rain caught in a shell, fresh water. They were saved. 3 fires were lit. Across the islands the smoke rose. On Batavia's graveyard the signal was seen, and Cornelisz understood something he hadn't planned for. The men he had sent away to die had survived. Worse, they were organized. And on Seal Island, 40 more, left there to die, were somehow still alive. For Cornelisz, that wasn't relief, it was a threat, and it was something he decided to deal with.
I am no more than an instrument of the company's will. Numbers have to be reduced so that at least some of us can survive.
The mutineers arrived in force. There was nowhere to hide. No trees, no cover, no escape. People ran, but on an island like this, running only buys time. Men, boys, children, cut down, driven into the water, left where they fell. By the end, most of them were dead. But not all. In the chaos, several men slipped into the water with makeshift boats. Among them, Cornelisz Jans, the fat trumpeter. He had played happy tunes while hell formed around him. Now he kicked silently through the sea, trying not to die. Hayes and his men waited on the high islands, watching their signal fires burn. They had water, but no one came.
We were not sent here to find water. We were sent here to die.
Then, out of the glare, a man washed ashore, half dead, and he brought the truth.
Treachery, murder, they'll come for you soon.
Hayes's island had become the opposite of Batavia's graveyard. There was water, food, organization. They caught animals, gathered shellfish, ate well enough to think clearly, and now they prepared for war. They built stone forts on high points. They gathered rocks. They made pikes from long poles. Their enemy had muskets and blades. Hayes had discipline, ground, and an excellent understanding of wet gunpowder.
They have muskets. Good. Let them bring muskets through water. We'll bring them rain made of stone.
Cornelisz sent Zevank and Van Huysen with armed men. They approached across the shallows. Then came the sound, whistling, stones, dozens of them. Water erupted around the attackers, muskets soaked, powder ruined. The mutineers panicked and retreated. They tried again, this time spreading out across the flats. But Hayes's men were ready. Again the attack failed. Cornelisz had killers. Hayes had a system, and systems beat swagger. Weeks passed on Batavia's graveyard. The water was running low. Only Hayes's island had fresh supplies, and Cornelisz knew any rescue ship would land there first. If Hayes lived, the truth lived. So he chose a different plan. A peace offering, or at least that's what he wanted Hayes to believe. He sent the Predikant as messenger.
The Captain General wishes peace. He says there has been misunderstanding. He wants only survival until rescue comes. I'm sure he does.
Hayes agreed to talk, but he did not trust him, which was wise, because Cornelisz came with 5 of his most lethal men, hoping to charm Hayes, bribe his soldiers, or murder everyone close enough to matter. Instead, Hayes gave the signal. Cornelisz was seized, his men were killed or captured. The great manipulator had walked into a trap.
Traitors. All of you. You'll hang for this.
Back on Batavia's graveyard, the mutineers chose a new leader, Wouter Leaves, and Leaves had learned from every failed attack. Do not rush Hayes. Do not waste muskets in the water. Do not let his men get close. This time, they would advance slowly, keep their distance, and let the guns do the killing. For 3 hours, Hayes's defenders were driven back. Men were wounded. The line bent. Hayes started to lose men in the advantage. Then someone shouted words that changed everything.
A ship!
A rescue ship, the Amsterdam. Suddenly the battle no longer mattered. When the ship appeared, it became a race. Hayes to warn of the mutiny, the mutineers to seize the vessel before the truth could reach it. Wouter Leaves realized the game was up. He stayed where he was and probably saved his own life. After 2 months searching the vast coast, Pelsaert had finally found the islands. He returned to recover his ship and rescue any survivors, unaware he was sailing into a mutiny and a massacre. Hayes reached Pelsaert first.
Go back aboard immediately. There is a party of villains on the islands who intend to seize your ship.
Pelsaert listened. For once in this whole cursed story, the right person arrived at the right time and believed the right man. Moments later, the mutineers pulled alongside. Red clothes, weapons, confidence. The stonecutter moved as if to climb aboard. Pelsaert gave the signal. Guns appeared along the rail. A cannon aimed down into the boat. And just like that, it was over. The kingdom of Cornelisz collapsed at the side of a rescue ship. What followed was swift and brutal. The ringleaders were executed on the islands, some hanged, some broken on the wheel. Punishment made public. By the end, more than 100 men, women, and children had been murdered, not by storm, not by hunger, by each other. 2 of the mutineers were left behind, cast away on the coast of Australia. No rescue, no records. They stepped ashore and disappeared into the continent. They may have died within days or lived on, absorbed into a land no European had yet survived. No one knows. But we do know this. The Batavia did not just wreck on a reef. It exposed something far more dangerous, what people become when nothing is left to stop them.